sugar, spice, and everything uncensored with me, Amira. Every Thursday, you can expect a post on this channel to follow up with last Thursday's open discussion on why silence cannot lead conversations when it comes to educating the youth on sex. Is because, for one, sex is always being advertised 24/7 to you and me, so it is to them as well. And secondly, an agenda is always being pushed on the youth. Do understand that what I was saying in the last video of meeting yourself and having honest conversation on how you came about into this knowledge or how you were exposed or experienced those things plays a vital role in how you meet them where you're at. Do know if you or anyone watching this video who was exposed prematurely or too early to sex where someone has misused, abused, exploited, or violated you, that was never in God's design for you or to experience those things. And I hope as you live life, you are growing to love yourself more and finding ways to feel safe within your own body again. And do start to see yourself in the way that God views you, beautiful and whole. Um, but yeah, when it comes to the youth, we can't allow silence to lead these conversations because, for one, constant noise and advertisement is trying to draw their attention, and the only way to cut through that noise is by having open verbal dialogue. We have to be honest when we have these conversations with them and meet them where they're at with compassion, truth, and guidance. You have to really hone in and understand that it's an awkward phase for them as well. With anything in life, experiencing change draws attention. Any changes being made in life draws attention. So imagine in that stage of their life when there's physical changes going on, it's going to draw attention. Making sure you're not demonizing that stage of their life and you're not projecting internal shame that has not been acknowledged within your own self or internal trauma that has not been yet processed and unpacked. That's important because in that stage, teaching them the body is their vessel and God only gave you one. That's the one you have until you die. So make sure that you are loving yourself, nurturing yourself, stewarding it well, loving on yourself, making sure your health is in order, your fitness, the way you care and show love to yourself, stewarding your body, the one that God gave you. But also understanding too that although procreation is very real, understanding there's a time, place, and purpose for those type of conversations, those type of engagements or activities. When we get into that stage of not having conversation or because it's uncomfortable or awkward for you, you then leave the world once again, the teacher and the leader to let them know what is valuable and what is important. It should be even more emphasized, not just the fear mongering that is attached to that puberty stage of all the scarcities of life and them getting pregnant or catching in a disease, but also you should emphasize the beauty in embracing the changes of them coming of age. Sometimes that's not focused on enough. Sometimes people just stay stuck at the fear part, the fear and anxiety part, and um, you then in turn make them learn behaviors that society has normalized, which is internal shame. Especially, you see this a lot when it comes to young women who have developed more earlier than her peers. Her body's changed, or her body is more visibly noticeable change, and she's came into womanhood. Um, Teaching her that she is not responsible for the weirdos out here and how they perceive her. She's not responsible, but she is responsible, and teaching her to love and honor and respect herself and understanding how to be vigilant so she doesn't put herself in compromising situations. Because once you come into that new transition, stressing and emphasizing her, although you might feel the same inside and in your head, the world doesn't view you the same. They're not going to treat you the same. They're going to treat you very different. And not everybody's a safe person or a safe space. So emphasizing that she's not responsible, don't make her feel like she's responsible for the weirdos out here, even though that's a real fear. Sometimes people project a little too much, and then they don't realize you're simultaneously teaching her internalized shame, self-punishment, low self-worth, um, to be invisible, to shrink, because her changes are bringing a lot of attention. But like I said previously, any change in life, when you live life, change, if it's a positive or a negative, it always brings attention. Understanding that attention comes, but how to navigate that attention and understand what that attention means, so they don't get crushed by the weight of that, but then also the internal shame that you're projecting onto them. Also emphasizing their peer male counterparts view them differently as well. Although you and Tom may have been cool since first grade, Tom don't look at you the same since your body changed. Making sure that she's aware so she can make sure she is putting herself in safe situations, understanding her reality internally is not the reality of how people are responding to that change. Same thing with her female counterparts. You see this a lot when it comes to that middle school age. The social hierarchy that women are indoctrinated and pulled into early, you learn on the schoolyard. And it's unfortunate because a lot of young women who develop early learn quickly that people prejudge you. People have preconceived notions, and oftentimes they're negative, and you might have done nothing but just shown up, but your outer appearance has changed and it drawn attention. So now you became public enemy number one, especially when it comes to that weaponizing the male gaze. I do hope to get more into these conversations as time goes on because it's a very much needed conversation, and the youth is out here constantly being targeted and attacked. Also, when it comes to these young preteens and their changes, sometimes we glaze over, or there's a air of neglect when it comes to young boys. They feel like boys will be boys, like they don't really gotta talk much to them about, just as much as they stress little girls. Your shirt needs to be this size, and short needs to be down. Your skirt needs to be this way. You can't have this hairstyle. All these different rules and regulations because the world is perverse. um Teaching the same thing for young men to understand the value of their body and that they're changing too on the outward appearance, that although they still might be Tommy on the inside here and here, they done grew a little bit, voice done changed, chest done broaden out, facial hair, and that they're not responsible for the weird gazes also from the weird men out here. Let's talk about it. And the weird women out here. I mean, oh, he will be handsome all his life. He's gonna be a little heartbreaker. Help me get this to the car, baby. Straight weird vibes. Letting them understand that although you might be their only safe person or whoever, they cannot bank on the world and people around them treating them the same way they see themselves and how you see them, because they are physically changing and it does draw attention. Also letting them know that their female counterparts see them differently now, too. And also that their male counterparts see them differently now too. Sometimes they might find safety in friendship, and sometimes no, just like young women. Puberty is a very awkward stage for most preteens, and it's vital that, as awkward as it is, you don't add on making it extra awkward by avoiding conversation or only inserting your voice to be a voice of fear and anxiety, but not also reassurance and giving them insight on what is going on and how they can navigate that with still having their integrity intact, their self worth intact, the way they view themselves, body positivity, and how they view their own self image intact, their self esteem intact. Too often times when they go through that phase, if it's not met with that compassion, honesty, guidance, you allow fear and anxiety to lead these conversations, and it doesn't go away. That is what they carry with them into adulthood and attract furthermore lessons in life to reassure whatever belief system they already took to in that preteen stage. Those are the building blocks. A lot of times, those are major building blocks, and we have to understand having these conversations is vital because it's always being advertised to them.